Africavi. That compliment. It's a trap. Imagine walking down a busy street. A stranger approaches with a warm smile and hands you a small gift. A pen. A keychain. A flower. You feel a rush of gratitude. But seconds later, they ask for a favor. A donation. A signature. A moment of your time. Suddenly, you feel obligated to say yes. Why? Because that small gift created a psychological debt. Studies show that even a tiny favor can double compliance rates. The kindness is a hook. And you are already caught. This is the power of unexpected generosity. It rewires your instincts in seconds. Consider the story of a woman named Sarah. She received a free sample of a skincare product at a mall. The salesperson was friendly, attentive, almost like a friend. Sarah felt grateful. Then the salesperson asked her to attend a presentation. Sarah agreed. At the presentation, she was pressured into buying an expensive package. She later discovered the product was overpriced and ineffective. The free sample was a weapon. It disarmed her skepticism. Sarah's story is not unique. Thousands fall for similar tactics every day. The kindness is the bait. The manipulation is the trap. But it is not just sales people. Cults and extremist groups use this tactic too. They offer free meals, shelter, or companionship to vulnerable individuals. The kindness feels genuine. The recipient feels indebted. Then slowly, the requests begin. Attend a meeting. Read a book. Donate a small amount. Each request is a test. Each compliance depends the bond. By the time the victim realizes the truth, they are trapped. The kindness was a gateway. A weapon disguised as compassion. This pattern repeats across history. It exploits our deepest need to belong. And it works because we are wired to trust. Why does this happen? Because the human brain is not designed to detect manipulation in kindness. We evolved to reciprocate favors. It helped our ancestors survive. But in the modern world, this instinct is hijacked. When a stranger gives you something, your brain releases oxytocin, the trust hormone. You feel bonded. You feel safe. But that bond can be exploited. The manipulator knows this. They count on it. They weaponize your own biology against you. The very chemical that helps you connect with others can also make you vulnerable. It is a twist on a beautiful instinct. So how do you spot the difference between genuine kindness and a weapon? The key lies in intention. Genuine kindness expects nothing in return. It is given freely, without strings. Manipulative kindness always has a hidden agenda. It comes with a subtle pressure. A request. A favor. A deadline. The gift is a tool. The generosity is a mask. Once you recognize this pattern, you can protect yourself. Pause before accepting unexpected favors. Ask yourself, what do they want? Trust your gut. If it feels too good to be true, it probably is. Awareness is your shield. And it starts with this question. It was the early 1970s when a psychologist named Robert Cialdini decided to test a simple idea. He wanted to know if a small favor could make someone say yes to a much bigger request later. The experiment took place at a university campus. A researcher approached strangers and asked them to donate money to a charity. But before making the request, some participants received an unexpected gift. That gift was a single can of Coca-Cola. The results were shocking. People who received the free drink were nearly twice as likely to donate. This tiny act of kindness created an invisible debt. The recipients felt compelled to repay the favor, even though they never asked for it. Cialdini's experiment did not stop there. He wanted to push the boundaries of this psychological pressure. In another version, a researcher offered participants a lottery ticket worth a small amount of money. Then, later, the same researcher asked them to buy raffle tickets for a cause. The participants who had received the free lottery ticket bought far more raffle tickets than those who did not. The sense of obligation was so strong that it overrode the rational decision-making. People felt they had to reciprocate, even when the original gift was unsolicited. This demonstrated a fundamental rule of human behavior. Kindness, even when uninvited, creates a powerful urge to return the favor. But what happens when the favor is withdrawn? Cialdini designated a third variation of his experiment. This time, the researcher initially offered a generous favor, then later claimed it was not possible. After that, they asked for a smaller favor. Surprisingly, compliance increased even more. The implications of these experiments extend far beyond a university lab. They reveal a hidden wiring in our social brains. Reciprocity is one of the most powerful weapons of influence. It works because it taps into our deep need for fairness and social harmony. When someone does something for us, we feel a psychological debt. That debt is uncomfortable. We want to relieve it by giving something back. This is why free samples at grocery stores are so effective. The small taste creates a sense of obligation to buy the product. Charities send free address labels in the mail for the same reason. The gift triggers a desire to donate. We think we are making a free choice, but our brain is already nudging us toward repayment. One of the most disturbing aspects of this experiment is how easily the reciprocity instinct can be triggered. It does not require a large gift. A small favor, a kind word, even a smile can be enough. In Cialdini's studies, the size of the initial favor did not matter much. What mattered was the perception of a genuine gesture. Once the target felt that the giver had done something for them, the debt was created. This makes us vulnerable to manipulation by people who understand this principle. A manipulator can give a tiny gift, then ask for something huge in return. The target fails unable to refuse. The automatic debt overrides logic. We end up agreeing to things we would normally reject. By the way, if you like this discussion, don't forget to subscribe. There are many more interesting topics coming up. Bohler listrik. The original experiment from the 1970s remains a cornerstone of social psychology. It teaches us that kindness is not always innocent. It can be a calculated tool. But understanding this mechanism gives us power. When you recognize the pattern, you can pause before reciprocating. Ask yourself, did I ask for this favor? Is the giver expecting something in return? By becoming aware of the automatic debt, you can break the cycle. You can accept kindness without feeling obligated to repay it with compliance. The key is to separate gratitude from obligation. Say thank you, but keep your boundaries. The experiment shows that awareness is the ultimate defense against hidden manipulation. Your brain is a master chemist. Every time someone shows you kindness, It releases a flood of dopamine. This neurotransmitter makes you feel good, warm, and connected. But there is a darker side to this chemical reaction. The same dopamine rush also activates a dipsated need to reciprocata. It creates an invisible debt that your mind insists on repaying. This is not a conscious choice. It is a biological imperative. Your brain evolved to favor cooperation. But that same wiring can be hijacked. Manipulators know this. They exploit your own chemistry against you. Consider the anterior cingulate cortex. This small region of your brain is responsible for detecting conflicts. When you receive an unsolicited favor, it creates a conflict. You feel grateful, but also uneasy. You sense an imbalance. Your brain wants to restore harmony. It pushes you to say yes to a future request. This is the neural basis of the reciprocity rule. Scientists have mapped this activity using fMRI scans. The results are clear. Kindness triggers a sense of obligation before you even think about it. Your brain makes the decision for you. Dopamine is not the only chemical at play. Serotonin and oxytocin also surge when you receive kindness. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone. It builds trust and bonding. But in the wrong hands, it becomes a tool. A manipulator who gives you a gift triggers oxytocin release. You feel closer to them. You lower your guard. Your critical thinking fades. This is why love bombing works so well. Overwhelming kindness floods your system with bonding chemicals. You become attached before you realize what is happening. Your prefrontal cortex usually helps you make rational decisions. But when you are under the influence of these chemicals, its activity decreases. You become less able to weigh pros and cons. You rely on good feelings instead. This is why a free sample at a store can lead to an unplanned purchase. The kindness triggers an emotional response. Your rational brain steps aside. The manipulator knows this window of vulnerability. They strike when your defenses are down. They ask for something big right after giving something small. There is a phenomenon called the endowment effect. Once you receive something, you value it more than before you owned it. This is why unsolicited gifts are so powerful. Your brain immediately assigns higher worth to the gift. You feel you owe the giver something in return. This effect is amplified when the gift is personalized. A manipulator might remember your birthday or your favorite coffee. The gesture seems thoughtful, but it is calculated. They are exploiting your brain's tendency to overvalue what you have. The most disturbing part is that this neural wiring is universal. Every human brain has these circuits. It is a survival mechanism from our tribal past. But in the modern world, it makes us targets. The key to defense is awareness. When you feel a sudden urge to repay a favor, pause. Recognize that your brain is being manipulated. Ask yourself, is this kindness genuine? Or is it a setup? By understanding the mechanics, you can override the automatic response. You can choose gratitude without obligation. That is true freedom. A free sample at a grocery store seems harmless. You taste a small patch of cheese, and suddenly you feel a subtle pressure to buy the whole block. This is not an accident. It is a calculated psychological trap. Corporations spend millions studying how a tiny gift can override your rational decision-making. The moment you accept, your brain registers a debt. You owe them. And they know you will repeat at that with a purchase, even if you did not want the product. This is the art of reciprocity in action, weaponized in every aisle of the supermarket. Now step into the world of high-end sales. A car salesman offers you a cup of coffee. A real estate agent sends a holiday card. These gestures seem thoughtful, but they are carefully timed. Research shows that unsolicited gifts increase compliance rates by over 40%. The recipient fails a subconscious need to reciprocate. The salesman knows this. That coffee costs 10 pennies, but it make you sign a deal worth thousands. The kindness is not genuine. It is a transaction disguised as generosity. And you are the target. But the most dangerous weaponization of kindness happens in cults. Recruiters do not start with demands. They start with love. They offer free meals, compliments, and a sense of belonging. This is called love bombing. The target feels overwhelmed by affection. Their critical thinking shuts down. They begin to trust the group blindly. Once that trust is established, the demands begin. Money, time, loyalty. The kindness was never free. It was a hoax. And by the time victims realize, they are already trapped in a psychological prison of their own making. Love bombing is not limited to cults. It is a common tactic in abusive relationships. In the beginning, a partner showers you with gifts, constant attention, and declarations of love. It fails intoxicating. But this intensity is a trap. Once you are emotionally dependent, the kindness turns to control. The same person who gave you everything now threatens to take it away. You find yourself desperate to regain their approval. You comply with their demands. You change your behavior. The initial kindness was a weapon, designed to disarm you completely. Even online, kindness is weaponized. Scammers pose as friends, offering help or gifts. They build trust over weeks. Then they ask for a small favor. A loan. A bank detail. The victim, feeling grateful, complies. This is the long con. The kindness is an investment that pays off when the victim lets their guard down. Social media amplifies this. A stranger as compliment can feel genuine. But behind the screen, it is a script. A calculated step in a manipulation playbook. The internet is a hunting ground where kindness is the most effective bait. I change everything at lightning speed. Instead of falling behind trends, you can steal fresh business ideas that haven't gone viral yet at Horizon Radar. Link in the description. But back to the dark side. Even charities can weaponize kindness. A free bracelet in the mail. A calendar you never ordered. You feel obligated to donate. The organization knows this. They rely on your guilt. Your kindness becomes their profit. The line between genuine generosity and manipulation blurs. The only defense is to pause. Ask yourself, is this gift truly free? Or is it a price you will pay later? You have been conditioned your entire life to feel indebted when someone gives you something. A compliment. A free drink. A favor. Your brain screams, return the gesture. But what if that kindness was a trap? The first step to breaking free is recognizing the pattern. Unsolicited favors are not gifts. They are hoax. Manipulators know that once you accept, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding chemical, making you trust them. But you can stop this cycle. You must learn to see kindness not as a debt, but as a choice. Awareness is your shield. The moment you feel a twinge of obligation after a small favor, pause. Ask yourself, did I ask for this? Is there an expectation attached? Manipulators rely on your automatic thank you and your desire to appear polite. They count on you not wanting to seem rude. But here is the truth. You have no obligation to reciprocate an unsolicited gift. Your politeness is a vulnerability. Train yourself to say no thank you without guilt. Every time you accept a hug, you give away a piece of your freedom. Reclaim it. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates that you control. Manipulators fear boundaries because boundaries reveal their intentions. When someone offers you something too good to be true, or a favor that seems excessive, set a boundary immediately. Say, I appreciated the offer, but I cannot accept. What the reaction? A genuine person will respect your boundary. A manipulator will pressure you, guilt you, or become cold. That coldness is the mask slipping. Your boundary is a lie detector. Use it without apology. Gratitude without obligation is a superpower. You can feel thankful for a kind gesture without feeling you owe anything in return. This is the mindset that breaks the reciprocity spell. When someone gives you a gift, say, thank you, and stop. Do not add, I owe you one. Do not promise anything. Let the gratitude exist on its own. Manipulators want you to feel indebted because that creates control. But if you refuse to enter that contract, their weapon becomes harmless. Practice this daily. It rewires your brain. The most dangerous kindness is the one that comes with a hidden price tag. In sales, this is called reciprocity concession. A salesperson offers you a free consultation, then asks for a huge purchase. You feel you must comply because they gave you something. But remember, their time is their choice. Your compliance is not mandatory. The next time a stranger offers you something, ask, what do you want from me? Say it out loud. It shatters the illusion. Manipulators hate direct questions. They reveal the trap. You now hold the ultimate defense, awareness. Every time you feel that warm glow from unexpected kindness, pause. Let the feeling exist, but do not let it dictate your actions. Ask yourself, is this kindness genuine or calculated? Does this person want something from me? You can enjoy the kindness without accepting the invisible contract. Manipulators prey on the unaware. But you are no longer unaware. You see the strings. And when you see the strings, you cannot be controlled. Your freedom begins with a single question. What is this kindness costing me? Well, chome. Before we begin, hit subscribe so you don't miss our daily updates. Bell Part 2 is dropping tomorrow. Subscribe for notifications. Pengeras suara umum.